Hello guys, today we have a very simple task. We want to download AcVentory, install it, and update an existing installation of AcVentory. Okay, so by now you should know that AcVentory is an accounts and inventory software developed by Sawari Software Limited. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to move to the company's website. Okay, Sawari Software, sawarisoftware.com. So we move there. Okay, we are there. Now we can go into the menus. Just jump to the download section. We are in the downloads. We are interested in AcVentory. So now we just jump to the AcVentory section. We talk about these other options here, but today we are interested in the very first option, the full package. Okay, so we click on the full package. Okay, so as you can see, the download just started. Okay, now we have to wait for this download to finish. Okay, now we are done with the download. So we come to our downloads folder. We see this file, AcVentory setup. It's a zip file. Okay, so we can cut this file from here. Okay, so I'm cutting this file from here. I just move it to any location. Let me just create a folder here. I don't name it. I just dump it in there. Okay, so now I have it here. I can extract it. Extract here. Okay, so now I have all the files I need. Okay, so these are the files. We have the setup for the installation. We have a crystal report, redistributable, two versions for a bit32. We have a bit32 version and a bit64, so based on your operating system. Then we have a readme file. Okay, the first important thing is to open the readme file. It has some very important instructions on how to install and use the system. Okay, so first let's open that. It's just a text file. So installation steps. It says first we should unzip. Okay, so basically what it's saying, we should unzip the downloaded file. So I think this downloaded file. Okay, so we unzip the downloaded file. Then it says we should run the setup to install the software. Then what this is saying is based on our operating system, we can either install the bit32 or the bit64 of the crystal report. If you are not sure, you can install both. Install both if you are not sure of the type of operating system on your machine. So this is the last part of that. Okay, so let's do that. Then we come to the other instructions here for, okay, so let's see. Instruction 4, it says before running the system for the first time, right click on the desktop icon. So let's install it, then come back to that one. Okay, so okay guys, so now let's get to the installation. Okay, so we double click this setup file here. Okay, we get a prompt whether we want to continue installing or not, so we say yes. Okay, so we get the location where this installation is going to be. We are okay with it. Go next. The name of the folder is okay. Okay, it's asking whether you should create a shortcut on the desktop, and that's okay too. Okay, so now we just install. Okay, it's a few seconds. It's asking whether we should launch the program or not. We say no. Okay, so we go with the finish. Now let's see our desktop. We should have a shortcut. Okay, so we have a shortcut here. Let me bring it here. Okay, so before we run this, we can just open and go on with it. But before we do that, let's visit our readme file. There was some instruction concerning that. It says instruction 4, before running the system for the first time, right click on desktop shortcut, select properties, click advanced button, and check run as administrator checkbox. Okay, so let's see. The reason why we need to do that is that the system creates some folders, some backup files for us. Okay, in order to do that, the system needs administrative access. Okay, so we have to give it that access. So we right click on this, we select properties. Okay, here under properties, we go to advanced. Okay, we select run as administrator. So that's all we need to do. Then we now apply this. Okay, so we continue with that. Okay, so we've given it administrative access, so we can now use it. We can now go ahead. Okay, now let's look at the second part of the installation. For this part, we are going to install the Crystal Report engine, what we call Crystal Report Redistributable. Okay, this, so we have our files here. We have this or that based on our operating system. Okay, so first let's see what this does. The system will work fine without this, but then you will not be able to print invoices, you will not be able to display reports without this, because the system, the reporting engine in the system is Crystal Report. So you need to install one of these or both. Okay, so let's see how do we determine which one to install. So I come to properties of my system. I look for the system type here. Here I see base 64, so it means this machine is a base 64 machine, or it's running a base 64 operating system. So right away I know which one to install, so I know I'm going for this. So I double click to open. Okay, I wait for it. Next, accept the license terms. Next. Okay, yes. Okay, so validating, updating, just waiting for it to finish the process. Just that. Okay, so we are done. You just click finish to end the process. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the installation of the Crystal Report engine. Okay, so the machine is ready to print invoices and generate reports. Okay, so we are now done with the installation, the download and installation. Okay, so now it's time to use the system. We've given the system administrative rights. Okay, so now it can run as administrator. But then, before we use the system, let's pick some information from the README file. Under login, use the following information to log into AcVentory for the first time. So, username, user, password, the same thing, user, and the user type is select supervisor. So that's how we log in. Okay, so let's try to log in. So we double click. Okay, we are given a prompt. We say yes. Okay, so now the login form is here. User, we come to password, user, then supervisor is already here, so we go with that. So we just successfully logged into the system using the information in the README file. Okay, because we don't have anything, all this do not make much sense. We've not added stock items. We've not sold to anyone. So we can jump on from this prompt to go to the actual interface of the system. Okay, so at this point, we are able to log on to the system. Okay, after logging on successfully onto the system, what you want to do is to tell the system for the first time, you want to tell the system the kind of invoice you want to print. Okay, so let's go to, we have set sales options down here under supervise menu. Okay, so you select and you display this form. Okay, so you have your sales invoice paper size. Okay, basically it's a type of the paper size you'll be printing. The thermal receipt size, that's the normal 80 supermarket type of receipt. Okay, so if that's what you're going to print, okay. If you want A4, you have A5 option 2 here. Okay, then you have here always print sales invoice. So if you select this option, anytime you use the sales form in the system to sell something to anyone, the invoice will be printed automatically, assuming you have a printer installed. Okay, then here you have invoice copies per sale. So by default, just one invoice will be printed for the customer, of course. But if you don't want that, you want to print two and keep one on a file or something, then you can use that. You can add any number you want. But let me leave it at the default. Okay. Then you have discount type here too. Here, you tell the system the kind of discount you would like it to apply. We have discount per unit. We have flat discount. Okay. This will make sense when you're using the sales form. Discount per unit means if whatever figure you enter for discount, the system should multiply it by the quantity of items being sold to arrive at the actual discount. But then if you say flat discount, whatever figure you enter, that is what is considered the discount you are giving out. Okay, when we get to the sales option, when we go to the sales section of the system and we are actually carrying out some sales, you will see what we mean. Then you have a invoice footer. At the end of the invoice, the message that should display. So you have thank you for your custom. If you don't like that, you can type your own. Okay. Then you have a make price editable. On the sales form, the system will pick the prices you saved for each item. Okay. If you want to change those prices, you have to edit the prices through another form. But if your business is such that you frequently change prices, you can enable this option where the salesperson can manually change the price in the system without actually changing the general price for the item. Okay, so let's go with this. Let's say, okay, so we told the system how we want to sell stuff. So that's basically about the installation, the download, installation, and setup. Okay, but then before we go, when we went to this option, you saw that when we came here, you saw the type of invoices we could print, right? Okay, so if you select this type, it means you should install a thermal printer, 80 printer, so that the system can see it and print through it. Okay, and when you install, you must set it as the default printer so that the system will always pick that one automatically. Okay, so if you choose A4 or A5, you must install a printer that could print that kind of invoice, like the regular A4 printer, the standard office printer, any type that could print this kind of report. Okay, so that is really about it. Okay, so we've done the download, we've done the installation, we've been able to log into the system. Now the next thing is to update an existing installation like we have right now. We have an installation on this machine. So let's say if they tell us there's an update, there are some new features, and we need those features. How do we update our installation here? So that's the next thing we are going to look at. Okay, so our next task is to update this installation we have here. That is to say that there are some latest features out there. The company has made available some latest features with the software. So now we need to get those features and install on our machine. We need to have access to those features. So what do we do? Okay, so we go to the company website again. The same place, we go to the downloads section That's assuming we were on the home page. We will come to downloads. Okay, so we are here. This time we concentrate, we go for latest executable. Okay, so we click on it. It should take a few minutes to download this. So we wait for this one to be downloaded, then we get it in our downloads folder. Okay, so we're waiting. Okay, so the download is done. So we go to download folder. We see this file, AcVentory r.exe. That's the file we want. That's the file we need. So we right click. We just cut it from here. We come here to the desktop. Right click here. Go to open file location. We get there. We just right click and we paste. It will ask you whether we want to replace the existing one with a new one. So we say yes. Okay, so we continue. Okay, that's it. So we've done the update. So if you close from here and come here to open the program again, it's the same process, but then if there are new features, they'll be available for us to use. So that's it. So that's how to update. So anytime there are new features out, you just go through this process to update it. Just that. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we end today's video here. Okay.